I lose faith most of the time, every time I go. But see, that people and the preacher is not what I'm there about. It's the creator of the universe that calls us there. So what I do or don't like about the church, if I just wanted to spend time, I got too much to do to spend time fawning about things. I think most things are wrong, but there's no point talking with a brick wall about that. So I go because I'm called to be there in the assembly of the saints. Not because I don't need to be entertained. If I need to be entertained, I'd be in Hollywood. No. And if you think I'm so dumb that you think you can entertain me, then we're both in trouble. Okay, but postmodernism. Three things. Oh, it's break time very soon, isn't it, Christopher? Oh, we'll have a break. Don't leave now. I'm locking the door. It's like a Pentecostal collection. We lock the door. We count the money. If it's not enough, we take it again. Then you can go. The cosmos is no longer regarded as a machine, but rather a system which appears to be random and mysterious. Now, have you heard Chris or anybody, any of you scientists here, talked about the Copenhagen School and what view of science? Tell us, Chris.
Well, it's the ontological interpretation of quantum mechanics and the uncertainty principle.
Now, what is the uncertainty principle? It says that one given equation cannot locate the speed, or cannot do the speed and the location of a particle at the same time. Well, what? So what? It doesn't look like it's a machine. But see, the amazing thing is, because we don't have total access knowledge-wise, is not proof that the behavior of the particle isn't totally determined. That's another thing. It's a begging of the question to say that the world is really not a machine, but it is what? It's an organism. That's pantheism. And that the counterculture and the postmoderns like the Copenhagen School of quantum mechanics. But see, it isn't as powerful as they seem to think it is. Because to hear that, a quantum, and everybody, you've seen several quantum, you know what those quantums are, they're around in the halls and various places. A quantum, its location and speed can't be located in the same equation. But they never say that you can't do what in two equations? Locate them both in two different equations. That's an entirely different thing to say, well, it must be spastic, they're erratic. Well, yes and no. The machine model breaks down, but I don't need to be a pantheist to buy that. I think the Copenhagen School, which is one of the Bibles of the counterculture in the postmodern world, is not scientifically true. I said scientifically true. I don't believe that.
So they got to have a pantheism of the gaps kind of thing.
See, the world's no longer a machine, but it is an organism, and what they use, have you heard the word? I don't want to give you too many jargon words. Have you ever heard of symbiosis?
Yeah.
Oh, now, here I'm getting, there's over 4 people, 5 people, we're voting now. What is symbiosis? When conflicting systems somehow live together in the same system.
Yeah, two very different people.
Yes, Elizabeth, I'm on the way. That's correct. We're symbiotically exist. Oh, no, that's okay. That's an example.
Symbiotic relationship.
But symbiosis smacks like pantheism.
The ultimate tolerance.
The ultimate tolerance is symbolic conflict between alternative viewpoints in the same system, the same world, not same system. So you hear that word, that's a big time word, symbiosis. Well, you got to unpack that. Well, I don't claim that I've unpacked it, but I've showed you what it is. It's two alternative conflicting systems living in the same world. See, that's why the postmodern neo-evangelical. They're not neo or evangelical either. They're not neo nor conservative either. But that's why they talk.
Yeah, is the particle a wave or a particle?
Is it a particle or is it a wave? Well, what it is both. Why would you say it's either this or that? When actual fact in the laboratory it's what? Both.
How do you measure it?
So it's not a conflict in analysis, it's a partial perspective. It's something like the blind men and the elephant. But somebody has to know what the elephant is before the metaphor breaks down. See, if the elephant is as blind as the people, he said, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know who put me here or anything. I'm reading out an elephant. He talks with these blind people. Has an elephant communication syndrome. No, it's that. You can't. Somebody has to know what it is. Now, you might not know it at any given equation, but that doesn't mean that knowledge access is unavailable.
And the warhead always detonates.
And that's not too good.
Who are some of the chief critics of scientific postmodernism?
Oh, well, there are more than that, but I would say Stanley Yaki and Polkinghorne, and McGrath. He is a PhD in mathematical physics, and he believes something. When I say an evangelical, I didn't say he studied with J.W. McGarvey, but I said he believes more than most people. See? So I buy them. See, I buy the Pope because he believes certain things.
You know, Yaki was here in the area last fall. I found out about that from a Roman Catholic.
Well, there's 8 or 10 of Yaki's books that I would encourage you. You have to get up way before breakfast to do any advanced work over Stanley Yaki's work. He's Hungarian Catholic, Dominican.
Benedict.
He changed orders and he's Benedictine.
McGrath has this new series on science.
Yes,
right?
and see, I have better material on the website than half of McGrath's work. I'm glad for it, but it's not powerful stuff.
Huh.
It's useful stuff. I'm going to say not buy it.
Just too
Oh no! He's not. He simplifies things that aren't that simple. I'm afraid to simplify it to make it down for body that you're not talking about what the issues are. See, I don't believe that everybody in the world can understand microscopic physics, so I don't try to dumb it down so everybody can understand. Then nobody understands. Huh? You hear how elitist I am? No, I don't believe everybody's capable, but the difference between that elite posterior horse's anatomy and a Christian servant is a servant that gives away all the knowledge. Nobody in the world is a servant in that sense of the word, except the suffering servant of Isaiah and our Lord. That's what a real servant is high level preparation and to give you things that other people would charge you for. That's a servant. That's a servant when you don't have to be a servant. When you have to be, you're a servant because you have to be. But when you're a disciple of Jesus, you're a servant because you want to be.
I can't recall, was Ian Barber more
Yes.
critical realist?
Yes. Critical realism says, see, it has to be self-corrective because sometimes science is mistaken. But realism says that there's a difference between what's in the mind and what's what? Realism.
Actually is.
What's out there. But see, constantly going to the out there or to the laboratory is how you find out that there's something that don't fit the model.
From phlogiston to oxidation.
Now, you see this? The whole history of science is critical realism. To move from Aristotle's physics and cosmology to Copernicus's cosmology, there's a reason for this narrative displacement. A reason for it. It doesn't come along and say, well, all the young ones don't like Copernicus. No, they're young. They don't like that old stuff. They're sick and tired of that old
Ian poles.
Yeah. Dead by pole taking. Polecats and poles. Yeah, you know. You know what the Polish airport is. They got 2 planes with 1 pilot. I told the Pope this, and he didn't. He wasn't excited about it. Well, anyway, postmodernism denies true truth, but if we don't know how this came about, we're just talking in a vacuum. And it came about, it's not easy, and I think education that's Christian in your school and Christian that's education in the local church ought to consider these matters.